I'm Cindy, and welcome to our Father's Day edition of Pearls of Liberty, June 16th, 2012. And we had a lot to do this weekend, so we're giving you an on the road little update because there are some things that Don has been thinking about that feel really significant to him, and he wants to share them, but he's a little occupied with where we're driving right now, so I'll just throw in my little soapbox for the weekend, and that is Spare the Air Days. Last fall, Thanksgiving, lo and behold, was a Spare the Air Day, and then it came time for Christmas, and Christmas was also a Spare the Air Day.
No fires.
Which means, right, no fires in your fireplace on Christmas and Thanksgiving. Now, what is that about? Okay,
What
so...
a coincidence.
Yeah, Don doesn't like it either. So, lo and behold, today is the day before Father's Day. It is a Spare the Air Day. So you're not supposed to have any charcoal fires that are lit with lighter fluid. And you're not supposed to run your lawn equipment like gas-powered lawnmowers or gas-powered leaf blowers. So, Dad,
And it's always a
sorry.
suggestion first, but then it gets a fine later.
And there are the chemtrails that they can use to prove that the clouds are hanging in the air, and there's inversion today, so it's a Spare the Air Day. No so for you. No fires for you, Dad. No charcoal fires. No running your lawnmower. No running your leaf blower.
Evil barbecues.
So, and now to Don and his discussion of very important, significant ideas.
Something about what Webster Tarpley identified, named as the American system. And this whole thing about the Pauls, especially via Rand Paul, being taken down a peg by the Liberty Movement, you know, like how could Rand Paul endorse Romney? What a bunch of dupes we are. I want to say, first of all, my support of Ron Paul has always been primarily because of his clear articulation of the principles of liberty, and not because of his economic policies. Now, he thinks he's rooted in economics, but the truth of the matter is that recent statements of that bear that out, that that's what he thinks his grounding is, and he thinks that and I agree that economics rules. In other words, if you take over an economic system, you control the people, no matter whatever lip service you give to liberty. But unfortunately, Austrian economics and von Mises and all of that are pawns of the Rockefeller control system. And we are all conditioned, I've said this before, to say, oh, fiat money bad, fiat money bad. Anytime you hear the word fiat now, that is pre-programmed to be bad, bad, bad.
What about the car?
So we're going to go across over here and then down frontage on the other side.
Okay.
Is what my plan is, or else on the freeway one block, I'm not sure.
Okay, whatever works.
So that was the plan. We'll see how it works out. Because I don't know that, well, maybe that way would work. But,
The fiat money.
Yeah, so fiat money is not inherently bad. It all depends. When you say fiat, what that really means is you're just making something out of nothing. And yeah, to the extent that the United States has done that, and it has, we have been in trouble. But whenever it's backed by real assets, here's the key: it doesn't need to be gold and or silver and or even commodities, because as soon as the state declares a certain commodity as their currency, guess what? It has a monopoly on that commodity. What makes sense for governments to do is to use labor and natural resources as backing for their currency, and that in fact is what the emerging BRICS system does. Russia, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Its monetization is on the basis of natural resources and the labor of the people, and attached such things as intellectual property, etc. So, all that to say that there is such a thing as the American system that Webster Tarpley articulated quite well, and in my opinion, that does not have to be, as it seems to be in Webster's mind, synonymous with big government. I really think you can have very limited government. I'm a big fan of Thomas Jefferson who clearly articulated that big government is inherently a problem and something that we don't want. So, all that to say, you can have government doing a fiat money thing if you have a truly responsible government of the people. The idea that Congress controls the money is not a bad thing. That's a good thing. So, I got one more block to go down here, don't I? Wasn't sure where it was. Oh, I could have gone in there. That was right where it was.
Oh.
Turn around. You're gonna have to get up this, huh?
Yeah, that's all right. It's going to be super easy.
So, yeah, again, the fiat money is not inherently bad. Fiat money does not mean that money out of nothing. Fiat money means the government declares something to be the currency. Really, there is no other type of currency other than fiat currency. And whenever you name a commodity as your backing for your currency, what you're really doing is you're creating a government monopoly on that currency, and that's always a bad thing. Therefore, as Bill Still clearly articulates, the best currency is the one with the least amount of inherent value. So non-counterfeitable paper is actually an excellent way to put power in the hands of the people and take it away from the so-called bankers who are really just commodities brokers. And that's another clear distinction that's actually I've heard articulated by the people at the General Post Office. So that's my wrap up on that. And the American system doesn't have to be about big government. It can be about a currency that's controlled by the people, and that is in fact what built America before the American Revolution was colonial script. That's where a lot of intelligent money scientists, if you want to call them that, think that we should go next, and I'm in agreement with that.
So I believe you had some thoughts on another topic?
Right. The other topic is, and just I see this from several different angles. We're talking national level, we're talking state level, and we're talking personal level. So, and what I'm seeing is that the powers that be, and I'm talking spiritual powers as well as physical political powers, are really pulling the strings of people that are unhealed and they may think they have discernment, but they really have a lack of discernment because of unhealed issues in their lives. And it's becoming so clear to me that I've articulated this before, that really the kingdom within does have to come first. Otherwise you get people that can easily be manipulated, bought off, whatever it is. I'm not necessarily saying Rand Paul falls into that category, but it's kind of looking that way. It's kind of looking like he was less aware of liberty stuff than many people had hoped, and whatever it was that was used to pull his chain got pulled. So that I see that happening there. I also see that a lot of the people that are in RUSA, the Republic for the United States, so-called, have had their almost religious agenda and allegiance to the Constitution really used to keep them from fully thinking things through, fully understanding the foundations of liberty in America and in this age. And they have become people that do anything but a true Republican form of government. You know, just the idea that somebody could say, well, somebody didn't obey their oath of office, therefore I'm in charge now. And just doing that without any due process, it's so shocking to me. And these types of things are happening by people that call themselves Christians. And I won't go into details on a personal level too, but just coming to understand some of the roots of some issues of somebody that I'm related to were much more deep and serious than I had previously thought. But that's a good thing that we're seeing these issues crop up, because that means that if we truly want healing at a personal, family, state, national level, we can refuse to close our eyes and call in the Prince of Peace to bring healing. And people can't be healed if they don't want to be healed. So what we need to do is first be filled as vessels of love, so that we can offer the healing from a genuine, sincere desire for the person themselves, rather than coming off as Christians so often do as people with an agenda. And the more politically involved this is, the better. And I was really glad to see Alex Jones's comments about Rand Paul softened somewhat by saying we can't be too hard on him. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't want to force him into the enemy camp any more than he already is. And whether or not that's just a tactical maneuver that he thinks will give Liberty people an influence, I agree with Alex that it's a bad strategy. It's never worked in the past. This is like trying to make a deal with the devil. It just never works and only enslaves you. But we need to be loving, but at the same time not accepting the people that are making these gross mistakes. And I saw some Christian people do this loving confrontation at the state level, and I was quite impressed that there are people of the Spirit that know how to lovingly confront and say, well, wait a minute, how can you do this when you're saying this and you claim to be operating in a republic? That's anything but. So these are actually encouraging signs to me that the people that are being led by the true Spirit of Christ are seeing deception masquerading as righteousness and calling it for what it is. And with that, I wish you a happy Father's Day.